How does this magic actually work? Well, it's not really magic. It's just a very clever, structured process. We can break the whole automation workflow down into a really simple three-step framework. You might have heard of it before, ETL. It stands for extract, transform, and load. Let's break that down.
It's simple, really. First, we extract. That means we connect directly to our data, wherever it lives. Then we transform it. This is where we apply all our cleaning and shaping rules. And finally, we load that perfectly clean, perfectly structured data right back into Excel, ready for whatever you need. Pivot tables, dashboards, and yes, even those automated balance sheet reckons.
All right, step one, extract. This is all about the connection. And the beautiful thing about Power Query is that it can connect to pretty much any data source an accountant touches daily. A single Excel file? Yep. A messy CSV export from your ERP? No problem. An entire folder filled with your monthly trial balance reports? You bet. It can even connect directly to the company's SQL database. And the best part? That connection is live and totally refreshable. Okay, so once you're connected, you're brought into the Power Query editor. Now this is where the real work gets done. It's a super user-friendly interface where you can do all your cleaning, remove columns, filter out rows you don't need, change data types, all the usual stuff. But the most important part of this whole screen is that little pane on the right side. See it? The Applied Steps pane. That is where the magic really happens. Think of Power Query like a tape recorder. Every single thing you do in the editor, every filter you apply, every column you remove, every data type you change, it's recorded as a step in that list. So what happens next month when you get the new data file? You don't have to do any of that work again. You just hit refresh, and Power Query automatically replays every single one of those recorded steps in order. It's incredible. You do the cleaning work one time and never again. So let's talk about some of the most powerful steps you can record. All right, so think of me as your mentor through this process. I want to share a couple of my absolute favorite game-changing techniques. These are the ones that are going to solve some of the biggest, most frustrating data headaches you deal with every single day. Let's dive into some of these killer transformations. Okay, first up, let's talk about the VLOOKUP. We all use it, but let's be real, it's one of the biggest sources of errors and frustration in our financial models. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a better way. We're going to replace it with something far more powerful and way more reliable called merge queries. Merging is, quite simply, the professional way to join two tables together. You know, like when you need to bring in account descriptions from your chart of accounts to match up with your trial balance. And here's why it crushes VLOOKUP. VLOOKUPs are so fragile, right? Someone inserts a column in your source data and boom, your whole model breaks. Merges? They don't care about column order. They're robust. Plus, you can do all sorts of advanced joins. You can do a left-outer join to get all the matches. Or even better, an anti-join to instantly find all the transactions in one list that are missing from another. I mean, how perfect is that for reconciliations? All right, pro tip number 2. Let's tackle a problem I guarantee every single accountant has faced. You get a report, and the months or maybe years are laid out across the top as columns. You know what I mean? It looks nice for a human to read, but it's an absolute nightmare if you want to analyze it in a pivot table. The solution? It's an incredibly powerful transformation called Unpivot. Just picture that P&L report that lands on your desk every month. It's in that crosstab format, right? With columns for January, February, March, all the way across. But to actually analyze trends over time, what you really need is a tabular format. That means one single column for account, one for the date, and one for the amount. Unpivot does this transformation for you in literally 2 clicks. It takes that wide, hard-to-use report and flips it into a perfect database-style table that you can use to build amazing dynamic dashboards and models that update all by themselves.